Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Tech Data Engineer. So in this video we will see because being a data engineer, if we are using any platform irrespective of any cloud like GCP, Azure or AWS, right? So every time we need to the main goal of being a data engineer is to reduce our cloud cost as much as you can say as much less as possible. Okay, so so here in this video I'll take cloud as a GCP, and then I'll explain how you can cut your GCP bill by certain percentage. Okay, because what happens in your if being a data engineer or in a cloud engineer, if you're working, so most of the jobs you are working on the development, and then for testing you are working on the int environment, and the whatever the finalized job or whatever the finalized use case you have, that went live on productions. Okay, but most of the unused queries or job or resources which is basically running on the like development environment, right? So how to minimize that and how we can reduce our GCP bill by certain percent. So I'll tell certain steps, right? So by doing that a step, you can reduce your GCP bill by certain percentage. Okay. So, okay, so I mean, it is not like you are going systematically without going you randomly. You are deleting the resources and checking the scan and all these things. So, I'll explain this step by step how you can basically systematically you can go in your BigQuery consoles, and how you can basically reduce your GCP bill. Okay. So I'll start with certain examples. Okay. So okay. So we need to see first. I'll go with the first step. Okay. So first rule is measure before cut, right? Okay. So what is the first tool? Measure before before cut. Okay, so if you wanted to delete any resources, or you wanted to delete any query, so before that, what is the first step you have to do? First you have to measure. Okay, so in which particular cluster, which particular job, which particular service account the cost is more. Okay, and that job is running frequently, or what is the frequency of that job? Is it necessarily running, or is it bringing some of the insights on the data? So you have to analyze all these things, right? So first step is that measure before cut. Okay, so I'll explain so now I'm explaining the theoretical part. I'll explain through the GCP console also where what are the steps you have to follow. So first is the measure before cut. So in that, what you have to do, you have to use Google Cloud Billing. Okay, you have to go to the Google Cloud Billing. Okay, if you'll go to Google Cloud Billing, you will see all the reports. Okay, which particular service account using, which particular cluster is running, and okay, and what are the data scan on BigQuery. And then you have to do what you have to do, you have to use the Google Cloud cost table. Okay, you go to Google Cloud Billing, and then use Google Cloud Google Cloud cost table. Okay, Google Cloud cost table. So what you have to do, you have to go to there and enable the billing export to BigQuery. Okay, billing export to BigQuery. So you have to do this. Okay, so if you are doing that, if you are doing the billing export to the BigQuery, what you are basically doing, you are identifying the top 5 costly service. So what you have to do after enabling the billing export, what you have to do, you have to identify top 5 costly service. Okay, costly service. First step you have to do, you have to identify top 5 costly service. Then next step you have to do, project with higher spend. Okay, you have to see the which project have higher spend. Okay, project have higher spend. Okay, and then third things what you have to see, you have to see the unused resources. you have to see the unused resources. Unused resources. Okay, so if you'll do this, basically 80% of cost usually come from 20% of the resources. Okay, so you have to, what you have to do, you have to go to the Google Cloud Console, you have to search the Google Cloud Billing, and from billing you have to search the Google Cloud Cost Table, and then you have to enable the billing export to BigQuery basically. So if you'll do this, you have to identify top 5 cost services, project have the higher spend, and then unused resources. Okay, so in this we will see certain things also. Let me just see that. Okay, so if you'll do that, okay, so if you'll do that, you are approximately find that 20% of your resources are unused resources, and because of that you are getting you can say unnecessary billing for that. Okay, so or you have to do other things also. If you're going Google Cloud Billing, you have to select last 30 days. Okay, so group by service or project, you will see BigQuery cost, compute engine cost, or GKE cost. Okay, and then you have to write down the top 5 or top 3, whatever you want, costly services. Okay, then what is the next step you have to do? We have to do. You have to go to the BigQuery. Step two is this is step one, right? Step one. Step two is go to the BigQuery. Okay, BigQuery, BigQuery. Okay. So in BigQuery, go to Google Cloud BigQuery. Okay. What is the step? Go to Google Cloud BigQuery and check the expensive queries. Okay. So how you have so far if you are going to the BigQuery, what you have to do? First, you have to check the click query history. So how check the first step? First step you have to do, check expensive expensive query. How you can do that? You have to do first, you can click on the query history. So if you go to BigQuery, I'll explain it from console also. You can click on query history. Okay, query history. If you click on query history, you will get to know how many this query is used, how many byte. Okay, so then you have to first click query history. Second, what you have to do, you have to sort by byte processed. Okay, sort by byte scanned, byte processed or scanned. So if you'll sort by this, so who have the most expensive query will come first. So you have to select the top 3, top 5 query. Okay, so if you see the TB scan, so so TB more TB scan, more cost. Okay, so if you find more cost, TB cost, more cost is like more expensive query, more expensive query. Okay, more TB cost, more expensive query. Okay, then what is the fix you have to do? The fix is, first fix I'm telling the fix also you have to do. First fix is fix one. Okay, fix one is avoid full table scan. Okay, so how to avoid full table scan? Avoid full table scan. So how to avoid full table scan? So I'll tell you the query also. Instead of writing like select star from table, what you have to do? You have to do, this is the bad query. This is bad query. What is the correct query? We can write like select. Correct query is like select whatever the column one, column two, column three from table, from table, and where order date is something like that. Where, so you have to do certain filter condition where order date. Okay, order date equals to something like that, today date. Okay, so this is the good query. So if you write like that, you will reduce your table scan. So by using that, you will reduce your full table scan. Okay, then you can reduce your cost by 70 to 90%. What is the other fix we can do? Other fix is like you can use the partitions table. Okay, use the second fix. What you can apply, you can use the partition table. So if you'll use partitions table, so how to use the partitions table? If you'll go to the table, go to table, then edit the schema. After table, you can edit the schema, edit a schema, and there you can enable the partitioning. There you can enable partitioning. Okay, so if you enable partitioning, you can choose like a column like a date or timestamp. So if you'll do after using the partitions table, now your queries only scan the required data like today date, tomorrow date. Okay, so if you're using the partitions table, you are definitely scanning less. Okay, what is the third fix you can apply? Third fix like set the query limit. Set query limit. How to do that? Do that. Set query limit. Okay, set query limit. So how to do that? Go to IAM role, go to IAM, then IAM and admin. Okay, IAM admin, then quotes. Go to quotes. Okay, then limit query uses per user. Okay, and from there you can use the limit use. Like something some user definitely can use only 50 TB of a scan, something like that. So if you'll set the code, then you can prevent the accidental use bill, right? Sometimes what happen by default or by accidental, some user have run the query. So if you'll set the like limit, definitely it will give some error. Okay, so that time you can prevent your accidental use bill. Okay, now this is BigQuery. Now coming to the compute engine. Okay, so we have to see step 3 is the like a step 3 is like compute engine. Okay, step 3 is like compute engine. Okay, compute engine. In case of compute engine also, how can we reduce the saving? So you have to, what you have to do, go to the cloud console, go to cloud console. I'm telling the path, then you have to do compute engine. You have to search like a compute engine, then you can see the VM instance. Okay, you can see the VM instance. So what you have to do, first step you have to do, stop unused VM. Okay, unused, go to virtual machine and see what are the unused VM. Like there are certain VM which is running but that is unused, so you have to stop that. So we have to check the VM status. If it is running but not used, what you have to do, select VM and you have to stop it. Okay, so if you are stopping it, you are definitely you are saving your bill. Then second in the resize the overpowered VM. First is the stop unused VM. Second, what you have to do, you have to resize. Okay, resize, resize overpowered overpowered virtual machine. What do you mean by that? Resized overpowered virtual machine. So suppose you are using like a, you are using an instance called N1 standard 8. Okay, if you are using N1 standard 8, but you need only E2 medium. Okay, E2 medium, these are the instance type. Okay, but you need only E2 medium. So what is this? So what you have to do, go to so go to virtual machine, click edit, change machine type. So you have to change the machine type you have to change from N1 standard 8 to E2 medium. Okay, and you have to start it again. So if you are doing that, you, if you are resizing your overpowered BM, you are definitely increasing your cost and decreasing your cost by 30 to 60% in case of your virtual machine. Okay, then use the spot VM. Spot, what is spot VM? Create new virtual machine, select a spot means preemptible VM, like which is definitely, I mean, that is used for batch label job or ETL label job. Okay, so after doing your job, it automatically got terminated. That is called a spot VM. So that is basically saving your thing 70 to 80%. Okay, Now coming to the next part, that is called GKE. Okay, fourth is the GKE, Google Cloud, sorry, Kubernetes Engine, GKE. Okay, so how to save your cost through GKE? Okay, if you are using Kubernetes, okay, if you are using Kubernetes, go to the, so again go to the Google Cloud Console, Google Cloud Console, and there you can search like GKE. Okay, you can search GKE. Then what you have to do, enable the auto scaling. First step you have to do, enable auto scaling. Okay, enable auto scaling. Why it is required? And how you can do that? So you go to the cluster, click on the node pool, then enable auto scaling. Okay, so why auto scaling is required? Suppose sometimes your load is not that much that much. Okay, so in that case your automatically is load, if load is down, automatically descale your clusters. Okay, descale your Kubernetes cluster. So what happen, it will definitely save your cost. Okay, so when load is there, it will auto scale. If load is not there, it will descale. So how it is possible, if you enable the auto scaling. Okay, and how to do that, go to cluster, then go to node pool. I'll tell the step also. Go to cluster, go to node pool, and then enable auto scaling, or auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling, enable auto scaling. Okay, minimum or maximum x you can do that. And then the check resource wastage. So how to check the resource wastage? Then second step you have to do, check resource resource waste. How to check resource waste? You can use bash command like cube ectl top ports. If you use like this command, bash command, you will get it. Or CPU, if CPU usage is low, memory low, so reduce the something like from YML. So in your configuration file also, YML file, you can see like resource request, something like a CPU is 500 or memory is 512. So you can reduce that. So if you're reducing that, you are definitely reducing your cost also. Okay, then next step is the storage. So in storage also, how can step 5 is basically storage. Okay, storage. So in storage also, how you can optimize your GCP storage and how can reduce your cost. Okay, again go to Google, go to the Google Cloud Console and search the cloud storage. How can you have to do? So you can move all the data to cheap storage. Okay, so first step is that check your storage type. Okay, then move old data, whatever the data got old. Okay, whatever the data got old, move all the data to cheap storage. Okay, cheap storage. Okay, you have to what, how you can do that? Open bucket, then click the life cycle rule, then add the rule. So after 30 days move to the near line, after 90 days move to the cold line. So if you'll do like that, definitely you will save your billing. Okay, then delete the junk data, like something like a logs, temporary file, and old backup. The everything is the junk data, so you can delete that. So if you delete the junk data, second step is the delete junk data. Delete junk data. So if you delete junk data, definitely you are reducing your cost. Okay, so these are the way by which we can definitely we can definitely reduce your GCP cost. Okay, and after that you can do the auto recommendations also. Okay, use auto recommendations like ideal VM, oversized machine, or unused work, everything you can reduce it. Okay, so by doing that, definitely you are reducing your budget also. And then other step you can do, you can set the budget alert also. You can set budget, you can set budget alert also. Okay, set budget alert means go to billing, and then go to budget alerts. Budget is X. So suppose your budget is budget is x%, your budget is x%, and alert like you can alert set alert like a 50%, 80%, or 100%, something like that. So you can avoid bill shocks. Okay, so you have the information like what is my like billing and all these things. Okay, so by following this step you can definitely reduce your billing cost. Okay, thank you, thanks for watching.